Let's see. We will give this a minute or so. Let people hop on. And we will get this rolling. So we are drawing near to May 17th and 18th for the Polaris Championship 2024, third year of this phenomenal event. This year it is being presented by the Lutz Agency. So thank you very much to them for hopping on and being the title sponsor for 2024. We are at that point where we need to draw numbers here for the lineup. So that's what we'll be doing today. I don't know if anybody else will be jumping on with me, but as right now, it's just going to be myself. And we are going to draw numbers for 5 classes for both nights, both Friday and Saturday night. So we're going to do the 85 limited pro stocks, 95 limited pro stocks, super farms, pro stocks, and 4-wheel drive trucks. And then next week, Wednesday, we will plan to do the diesel super stock tractors, the light super stock tractors, the modified minis, the modifieds, and super semis. And super stock diesel trucks. So we will have 6 classes next week, and we will be drawing those again next Wednesday. So that is the current plan. We still have a couple more in those classes that just need to get registered. And so we're hoping to have that more finalized as we will be a week out from the event. So without further ado, if you haven't seen this before, I already went ahead and created the Friday night lineup and the Saturday night lineup and added all the information in here. These are all blank, as you can see. And so what I normally do here is we will go to a random list generator. And so the 85 limited pros, I already have them in here. I'll just randomize this 5 times, and I will go ahead and take those in order and add them into the lineup sheet. The numbers for each night, you can draw 1 to 1,000. That number, once it's been chosen, cannot be chosen for another class. So it is that is how that is done. So as right now, we have 97 total entries. If you were to draw 97, you'd have 97 missing numbers out of there. So we will get going here. First class we're going to do, so we'll do all of Friday night, then we'll do all of Saturday night. So this will be the order that I will draw them in. And I'm just going to pull this over here so I can see what I am doing. And I will pull the lineup sheet back. So we will start it out here. So first one's going to be David Doherty and the high price hooker. And you'll see his number pop up. So 93. And this will print, hopefully, to the printer. And there it goes. So it will take a little bit of time here. This is probably going to be an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to do these 5 classes. I'm not entirely sure. Normally we did 2 classes at a time, and it'd take us anywhere from a half hour to 40 minutes. So 93. And so I'll make sure to show you guys each number just to show that they are the correct ones. So we will move on to Jeremy Witt and the Destructive Deer. And that is a 755. My printer is acting up a little bit, so hopefully it doesn't cause too much of a chaos, as it looks like it might be. So I can reprint these numbers too if for whatever reason they don't go through. And we will just keep rocking and rolling. Next one will be Harry Walker. And then here was Jeremy Witt's number of 755. Harry Walker is next with just one more. He was your ECI champion. Yeah, hopefully this goes. I have to do this over wireless for some reason. My cable isn't working from the printer, so that's why it's taking a little bit longer than it should be. A lot longer than it should be. Okay. Move this back over here. And so the 85 limited pro stock class this year is we have a paper jam here. Not starting off very hot. Let's see if we can get this. The print. Maybe. Let me check this out. Yeah, this isn't going very hot currently. It's saying that there's a jam, and I don't see one. All right. I'm going to do to save me some time. I'm going to save these all as PDFs and print them later so we can just keep rocking and rolling with this. I don't want to be here all night waiting on this and trying to fix it. So let me just change that here quick. So we will set that as the default, and I will go back and have to reprint Harry's number. So we'll move on to Mark Roberts with the Fortinet. This was a new 85 limited pro with ITPA this year. So if this goes right, should be able to save this as a PDF. So let me just find a place to save these. And I will save these. Okay. And save. Okay. So we will save all these, and I'll just go through and not make you guys watch me suffer trying to fix a printer. Next, we got Robert Fuller, the IH1206, and he was your ITPA champion this year. And moving on, we have Brian Gerling. Family tradition. He was your Western Series champion, I believe. And he had a phenomenal indoor season as well at the Midwest Winter Nationals. So tough running tractor there. Moving on, we have Kenny Kazuzik in the Ride and Dirty. Picked up several wins throughout the summer. Moving on, we have Josh Hanna and the K-Woods Comet. Now it's number 715 for Josh. And moving on here, we have Andrew Tolke. Oops. Let's get the right class here first. And then Andrew Tolke in the Wife's Nightmare. Get number 317. And last but not least is going to be Mark Wiggins. He was your Outlaw champion. He gets 219. That should complete the class. So the 85 limited pro stock class this year. The class sponsor for that is Immune Insurance Agency. We thank them for their sponsorship. And without further ado, that is going to be your lineup for Friday night. So we'll start out David Doherty in the High Price Hooker, Kenny Kazuzik, Ride and Dirty, Mark Wiggins and the Demon Deer, Andrew Tolke, Wife's Nightmare, Brian Gerling, Family Tradition, Harry Walker, and Just One More, Josh Hanna, K-Woods Comet, Mark Roberts, the Fortinet, Jeremy Witt, Destructive Deer. He is your two-time defending Polish champion. And then Robert Fuller in the IH 1206. So we will get all the lineups on the website as well tonight. And with that, we'll move on to the next class. So we will do 95 limited pros now. So we'll randomize this 5 more times. And this is how we will draw the numbers for this class. And we will open up Friday and just show you nothing in the 95 limited pro class. And we will move on, starting out with Gary Barron. And he was, I believe, I forget if he's the Outlaw champion or if he was the runner-up. I know it's either him or George Byers. So, and we will get Gary Barron. All right. Moving on here, we have Dusty Whitaker. New tractor to him last year. He's a rookie down with Mid-South, and he's pulling number 82. And next we have Gage Schottel in the old Black Magic. He draws number 651. Next up is Michael Fanning in the Bad Habit, another Mid-South tractor. Pulls 167. That was Michael Fanning. Okay. Did that say? Oh, that didn't pop up. Moving on here is George Byer. Again, I believe he was your the champion, and Gary was the runner-up for Outlaws. Don't quote me on that. And excuse me, this one, 95 Limited Pros, is actually sponsored by the Imminent Insurance Agency. The 85 Limited Pro is Print Crazy. Print Crazy is right in the Nashville area and does all sorts of printing for us, for Brad, who obviously is the reason we are having this event. He is a big supporter of truck and tractor pulling, and without him, we could not do this. So thank you to Brad, and thank you, Print Crazy and Imminent Insurance Agency, for the class sponsorships. So Mike Gerlach here, the G-Force, pulls a Badger State, pulls 901. Next up, we have Brett Hexted in the 618 Motorsports Limited Pro Stock, and he pulls 518. He was a Silver Series runner-up this year. And continuing on is Michael Rozier. He's had some tough luck for the first 2 years at the Polaris Championship. 325 is going to be his number. And we will move on to Brent Shorefighty, one of our committee members, as well as last year's TPC champion, and swept the weekend. And last one in the class is going to be Sydney Summers with the Colorblind. She pulls 128. All right. So that should finish out the class. We should be able to sort and set our Friday night lineup. So that lineup's going to be starting out with Dusty Whitaker in the Precision Pro, Sydney Summers in Colorblind, Michael Fanning in the Bad Habit, Gary Barron in the High Stakes Horsepower, George Beyer in Side Piece, Michael Rozier, Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. And then it'll be She Gone 4.1 of Brent Shorefighting, the defending champion. The 618 Motorsports 4.1 of Brett Hackstead, Gage Schottel in the Old Black Magic, and then Mike Gerlach in G-Force. So those are your 10. Again, that class is sponsored by Imeen Insurance Agency. And the class orders we'll probably finalize that next week and have that out on the website as well. Just trying to figure everything out. Working with the PPL, as most of you probably already know, PPL does run the event. We do all the organization. They just bring their tech officials and help with teching as well as staging and doing the flagging on the track. It is a non-sanctioned event still. We just use them to help organize and run the event. All right, so let's move on here to the next class, which will be the Super Farm tractors for, I don't know why I can't put this up here, for Friday night. And we will randomize this 5 times. And this is going to be the order we pull them in. So I will get this over here. We will bring back up Friday night. And I'll just show you here, nothing in the Friday night Super Farm class. And we're going to start with Russ Freeze, the Deer Tracks. He was your NTPA champion this last year. Between him and his dad, Greg. And then we will move on to Nick Scar, better known as Punky, and the Screaming Norwegian. And he's going to pull 669 or 699. And next we will go to Shane McFarlane. Runs out there with the Full Pull Productions, I believe, and is going to pull 660. They actually have a couple of tractors. So they're from the Pennsylvania area. And next we will move on to Don Slama, a very well-renowned Super Farm puller from Wisconsin and the promoter of the Hillsborough Charity Pull. And he pulls a low number of 19. Next, we have Chuck Gutenberg, Positive Ground, another Badger State Super Farm. He's going to pull 547. He is a previous champion as well. Gutenberg. Awesome. Ryan Anderson's going to be next with the Checking Out. Another former champion. Multi-time champion, actually. He's going to pull 769. There's a lot of championships in this class between all the competitors. Shane Maston, the Thumpin' Pumpkin. He was a Saturday night winner last year. Friday night, unfortunately, had a little bit of bad luck. And broke the left rear tire right off the hub. And next we got Jeremy Roberts. He swept the weekend last year with Wicked Whitetail and was the DPC champion. The first time Super Farms were there last year. And then we have Josh Miley in the high maintenance. He's won 4 Super Farm titles in a row now, I believe it is. And he's going to get number 601. And last but not least is Dan Schulte out of Iowa with the Binder Express, pulling 175. That should do it for the Super Farms. We will sort that class. And here's the lineup for Friday night. We'll kick things off with Don Slama and the Fast and Furious. Move on to Binder Express of Dan Schulte. Then to last year's defending champion, Jeremy Roberts, Chuck Gutenberg, then Josh Miley, High Maintenance, the Deer Tracks of the Freeze family, Shane McFarlane, the Rutten Buck, then to Nick Scar and the Screaming Norwegian, Shane Maston and the Thumping Pumpkin, and then we will round the class out at Ryan Anderson with Checking Out. And we will move on to, we're going to do four-wheel drives next. Pro stocks, we'll finish those out last, just as being a fan favorite class. And let's move on. They are here. So we will randomize this 5 times. And this is the order. We will draw them in. Just check my phone here quick. Okay. All right. So let's grab the Friday night lineup. Great question. I don't know how many of them are. I believe they have a show tonight at 8 o'clock. So this will probably appoint a discussion for them. All right, we're going to start things off, with one of them, Baby Huey out of Nevada, Chris Daniels. He's going to draw number 405. Perfect. And moving on, we're going to go to Jake Zaring and the rule number 19. Tough truck that pulled the NTPA last year. Him and Mark Mangan had one whale of a points battle going on there. And then we will go to Terry Hagdorn. Whoops. And this is going to be Gunpowder and Lead. That's going to pull the number 74. And next we will move on to Bob Morrill, the Bodacious truck. This is a California truck that is taking place. Another California truck that was unable to make it. Oops. Pulling 821. Then we have oops, I was reading off the wrong Terry Hagdorn. So John Bohr is next. Oops, there we go. And he's got the code 3 out of California. He's pulling 153. And then we have Terry Hagdorn again. This time it is with Kicking Up Dust. And I forget which truck it was that won the PPL points this year. I think it was Kicking Up Dust. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then we have Joe Claypool in Risky Business. Last year, Eric did the driving of this. Pulling the number 45. And then we have Jim Bosch. He swept the weekend last year. pulls 444. So he's our defending champion. And the four-wheel drive class this year is sponsored by Reeve Trucking. And as we move into Donnie Reeve and the final drive. So thank you, Donnie, for your sponsorship. And unfortunately, I think that you're going to be the first hook, which, who knows, might work in your favor. And then we're going to move on to Jason Bramer. He should round out the class with the corn-fed truck coming back out of retirement. Pulling 628. So that should do it for the four-wheel drives. We'll sort this and make it bigger. So this is going to be the class order. We have Donnie Reeve in the final drive, Joe Claypool in Risky Business, Terry Hagdorn in the Gunpowder and Lead, John Bohr and the Code 3, Kicking Up Dust of Terry Hagdorn, Chris Daniels, the Baby Huey, Jim Bosch, our defending champion with Midnight Raider, Jake Zaring, rule number 19, Jason Bramer with Cornfed, and rounding things out, one of those California trucks, Bodacious, Bob Morrell. So that is your order for Friday night. One thing I actually did forget to mention is our Super Farm class sponsor is going to be Liquid Tube. So thank you, Liquid Tube, for the class sponsorship of the Polaris Championship this year. We will move on to Pro Stocks. We will randomize this 5 times. So you may notice in here we do have 11. One of the Pro Stock competitors did mention that they are unsure if they'll be able to make it with farming, how things have been kind of in the Midwest this year, especially more out to the West. And so they aren't 100% sure on if they'll be able to make it. So we do have one extra just in case. So they will be pulling no matter what, just a matter of if we'll have 10 or 11. We did the same thing last year. Just trying to get ahead of it before we have to scramble and then be short one. So we will get Pro Stocks here all drawn up. And just to show you here, we have a clean sheet for the Pro Stocks. And the Pro Stocks are sponsored by Chaos Fabrication this year. So thank you to Chaos Fabrication, again, supporting this event. That's 3 years in a row that they have done class sponsorship, and we truly appreciate the support. So the first one we are going to start out with is Craig Ladwig and Never Giving Up. I'm drawing 122. And next we will move to the Hartmans with Hardcore Addiction. 989. This is the former Meltdown tractor of Rodney Schnicker. Next we have Braden Schrammick. Oh, it's Brian. Let's try. I don't Schram. Let's try that one. 506. Next we have Brandon Simon. With injected funds, so he will be bringing and piloting the injected funds tractor of Brent Meyer, the NTPA champion. Next we have Brett Hackstead. And the 618 Motorsport Pro debuted at the Polaris Championship last year. Then we have Ezden Lemke. He was the inaugural champion of the Pro Stock Tractors in New Generation Plus. Okay, and then we have Chris Hoyt and the Nutcase Pro Stock. Moving on to the second one of that Brandon Simon will be driving, and that will be Loud and Heavy, the runner-up with the NTPA. And then we have Mickey Shorter coming back out this year. Changed from the Hague chassis to a component. And was able to debut that new tractor, or new chassis at the farm show this year. Then we have coming to the Pro Stock class is the Shelton family, piloting the 1206 Cutting Edge Pro. And finishing out the class is going to be our defending champion, Rhett Parrish, in the El Nino 304. Geez, 308, excuse me. Rhett Parrish. All right, so that should finish out the class. And well, that sort only does for 10, so let me sort it this way. What column do I need to sort? E. That should fix it, kind of. Things are a little broken on this one. I'll fix it, but it should be in order. And that should be the lineup. So we're going to start things out with Craig Ladwig and the Never Giving Up. Moving on to the Injected Funds tractor, piloted by Brandon Simon. Brett Hackstead in the 618 Motorsports Pro. Rhett Parrish in El Nino. Then we'll have the New Generation Plus with Ezden Lemke. Grayson Shelton driving the Cutting Edge Pro. Go to Mickey Shorter in the Buck Eater 2. Then it'll be Braden Stramick in Young Blood. Brandon Simon with the second tractor, Loud and Heavy. Chris Hoyt in the Nutcase. And rounding things out will be Brad Hartman and the Hardcore Addiction. So that should be everyone for this year's Pro Stock class. And we will move on now to Saturday night. So we will start back here. I'm going to go till it says 10. We're just going to do this all over again. So we will do it. So I'm going to move this one over and bring over Saturday. So this is all for Saturday. As you can see, it is empty. So we will start here. Let me just make sure. So this is 10. This will be the order. So David Doherty again is going to be the first one we draw. Okay. He's going to pull 687. So now that this is a completely different day, all those numbers do reset. Adding another folder here for Saturday night. And that will be David Doherty. All right. Then we have Andrew Tolke and The Wife's Nightmare. 279. And then we have Robert Fuller and the IH1206, your ITPA champion, pulling 918. And then we have Josh Hanna, Kaywood's Comet. $103. And he was the Western Series champ, I believe. Then we have Kenny Kazuzik. And again, the 85 Limited Pro Stock Tractors is sponsored by Print Crazy. Oops, that was Kenny Kazuzik. And then we will move on to Harry Walker, your ECI champion, pulling 985. Mark Roberts with the Forcinet John Deere, 930. Mark Wiggins, your Outlaw champion, 735. Jeremy Witt and the Destructive Deer, our two-time defending champion for the Polaris Championship. And last is going to be Brian Gerling, and he was your Excalibur points champion. I think I said he was the Western Series. He's actually the Excalibur. All right, that should complete the 85s. And so this will be your Saturday night lineup, excuse me. So we have Josh Hanna, Kaywood's Comet, Andrew Tolke, and The Wife's Nightmare, Riding Dirty of Kenny Kazuzik, The Family Tradition of Brian Gerling, Jeremy Witt, our defending champion with Destructive Deer, David Doherty and the High Price Hooker, Mark Wiggins and the Demon Deer, Robert Fuller and the IH1206. I see that deer is spelled wrong. Mark Roberts and the Forcinet, and Harry Walker and just one more. All right. So we will now move on to the 95 Limited Pro Stocks. We'll close that out and come to here. We will mix this up until it says 10. And here will be the order that I draw Saturday night's lineups. And you can see nothing in the 95 Limited Pro Stock class. And that is the Imminent Insurance Agency 95 Limited Pro Stock class. So again, thank you for their sponsorship. We will start out with Brett Hexted in the 618 Motorsports Limited Pro, number 47. Saturday. And Brett Hexted. All right. Let's get rolling here. Gary Barron, your Outlaw runner-up. Then we have Gage Shottle in the old Black Magic, 972. And moving on to Dusty Whitaker, the Precision Pro out of Alabama. Rookie last year, 156. Let's see. And then we have Michael Rozier, Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, number 27. Let's see. We got Michael Fanning, the Bad Habit, one of those tough Mid-South tractors. And we'll go on to Sydney Summers, Colorblind, drawing number 355. And George Beyer, side piece, your Outlaw Champion, pulling 920. Brent Shorefighty, our defending champion, with a Shigon 4.1. And Mike Gerlach with G-Force. Tough tractor out of the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Might be pulling last both nights. That should be it for 95 Limited Pros. The Insurance Agency 95 Limited Pros will go like this. Michael Rozier in the Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Brett Hackstead in the 618 Motorsports 4.1. Brent Shorefighty in the Shigon 4.1. Dusty Whitaker in the Precision Pro. High Stakes Horsepower of Gary Barrett. Sydney Summers in Colorblind. Michael Fanning in the Bad Habit. George Beyer in Side Piece. G-Force and Mike Gerlach. I will not pull last. It will actually be Gage Shottle in the old Black Magic. So, again, the Insurance Agency 95 Limited Pro Stocks. And next one will be Super Farms. As you can see, that one is blank. Let me correct this right away. And we will move on to here. So, again, we will randomize this to 10 times. And this will be the order we draw them in. And go to Saturday, and let's go ahead and start on the Super Farms. It is the Liquid Tube Super Farms, as they are the class sponsor for 2024. Again, we thank them for their sponsorship. We'll start things out with Deer Tracks, number 53. And then we go to Shane McFarland out of Pennsylvania with the Ruttenbuck 829. And Chuck Gutenberg with Positive Ground out of Rio, Wisconsin. He gets 692. We'll move on to Don Salama, promoter of the Hillsboro Charity Tractor Pull. He pulls 281. He's also a multi-time Pro Pulling League Super Farm champion. Josh Miley has been the last 4 winner of the or champion of the Super Farm class. We'll go to Ryan Anderson with Checking Out. He was I think the 2021 Super Farm champion, I believe, if I remember correctly. And we'll move on to Shane Maston with Thumpin' Pumpkin, 848. And we'll go to Nick Punky Scar with Screamin' Norwegian, 470. And to round things out should be Jeremy Roberts in the Wicked Whitetail, 568. And I definitely missed somebody. Let me see who I missed. I missed Dan Schulte. I guess I can't read sometimes. So we will get Dan in here, and he's 861. Now we're good on the Liquid Tube Super Farm tractors. That lineup's going to look like this. Saturday night, we have Russ Freeze and Deer Tracks, Don Slama in the Fast and Furious, Nick Scar in the Screaming Norwegian, Jeremy Roberts, Wicked Whitetail, Positive Ground of Chuck Gutenberg, the Checking Out of Ryan Anderson, Shane McFarland, the Rutten Buck, Shane Maston's Thumpin' Pumpkin, Binder Express to Dan Schulte, and rounding things out is your PPL champion, Josh Miley, High Maintenance. And Jeremy Roberts is looking to defend against a tough class of those Liquid Tube Super Farm tractors. Next up, we will move on to the Reeve Trucking four-wheel drive trucks. Again, let's see, it's empty. Again, thank you, Donnie, for the sponsorship. I do see that you are in here watching. So again, thank you very much. Your support means a lot to us in trying to make this event one of the best, if not the best, as we continue to make it grow. So this will be the order we draw them in. I forgot to put little things on for Terry Hagdorn, so it'll just be Gunpowder and Lead, and then it'll be Kicking Up Dust. So we'll start out with Gunpowder and Lead with Terry Hagdorn. And he's going to draw number 440. Oops. I need to put them here. All right. And then we'll move on to Jake Zarian, the rule number 19. He was the NTPA runner-up, 509. And then we have Jason Bramer in the Corn Fed coming out of retirement, pulling number 398. And then we have Donnie Reeve, the sponsor of the four-wheel drive truck class with Reeve Trucking, pulling number 62. And then we'll move on to our defending champion, Jim Bosch, with Midnight Raider, 519. Then we'll go to Terry Hagdorn's second truck, Kicking Up Dust. I don't know why that's a P. Should be a D. 249. And then we'll go to Bob Morrill with the Bodacious, 401. And And Chris Daniels, Baby Huey truck out of Nevada with 437. Joe Claypool with the Risky Business. One of those tough outlaw trucks. And should be the last truck here is going to be John Bohr. Final truck out of California. Pulling 91. So the final lineup for the Reeve Trucking 4-wheel drive truck class will look like this. We will start things out with Donnie Reeve and the final drive. Code 3 of John Bohr. The Risky Business, Joe Claypool. Terry Hagdorn's Kicking Up Dust. Jason Bramer in the Corn Fed. Bodacious of Bob Morrow. The Baby Huey of Chris Daniels. Gunpowder and Lead of Terry Hagdorn. Jake Zarian in the Rule Number 19. And our defending champion from last year will round things out. Jim Bosch, Midnight Raider. So again, that is your Reeve Trucking 4-wheel drive truck class. And then we will round things out with the Pro Stocks. And we will randomize this to 10. And this is the way that we are going to draw. Perfect. All right, so we will start things out by drawing Brandon Simon and the injected funds. He will be piloting Brent Myers, NTPA Grand National Champion running Pro Stock. I need to put this in the right folder. Simon and injected funds. All right. We'll go to Mickey Shorter in the Buck Eater 2. 888. And then we go to Grayson Shelton. I need to make sure I got the right one. The Cutting Edge Pro. 172. And then we'll go to Hesden Lemke and the New Generation Plus, our 2022 champion, the inaugural champion. Let's see. We'll go on to the second entry of Brandon Simon, and that's the Loud and Heavy, the NTPA runner-up in the Pro Stock class. Poll number 340. And then we'll move on to the Hartmans, Hardcore Addiction, the tractor they acquired from Ronnie Schnicker, 558. Brad Hartman. Oops. Pro Stocks here. Moving on to Craig Ladwig and his Fent. He's going to go 206. Rick Hackstead. And the 618 Motorsports Pro, the one that debuted at the Polaris Championship last year, 763. Then we got Braden Schrammick in the Young Blood, 289. Where'd you go? There it is. All right. Next up, we have Chris Hoyt in the nutcase out of Pennsylvania, pulling 842 as his number. And the last one in the Chaos Fabrication sponsored Pro Stock class, our defending champion, again, Rhett Parrish, El Nino, 216. That should be all of them. I'm going to have to do the old-fashioned way. And we will do by draw, smallest to largest. I don't know why that number disappears. And this should be the order for Saturday night's Chaos Fabrication Pro Stock Tractors. We'll start things out with the Cutting Edge Pro of Grayson Shelton. Craig Ladwig will follow him up with Never Giving Up. El Nino, Rhett Parrish, defending champion. And then we'll go to Braden Schrammick and the Youngblood, Brandon Simon, the Loud and Heavy, Esden Lemke, and New Generation Plus. The Hartman family, Hardcore Addiction, the 618 Motorsports Pro of Brett Hackstead, Brandon Simon's second entry of Injected Funds. Then we'll go to Chris Hoyt in the Nutcase, round things out with a Buck Eater 2, Mickey Shorter. And so that should conclude for the entries. I'm going to get these uploaded here. So we will first do, let me just make sure that they're both saved. I will get these uploaded on the website right away. And I'll just show you where you can find that information. And we will do it as well for this one. So if you come to our website, this is the homepage. Polar Championship, again, is presented by the Lutz Agency this year. They are the title sponsor. You can find all the information for the event right here. Everything from the event info, the pollers that are all registered, the results from previous years and the past champions, any lodging information. We're still accepting sponsorships and vendors. So if you want to come on board this year, the information's here. And then the live stream. If you want to live stream the event, the event that you can't make it, and then we have our contact page as well. You can find our contact information for getting a hold of us, and everybody that has registered so far is up on the website. So if you don't see somebody that has maybe been voted in, there is a reason that they either end up declining for a reason or the other, or they're still waiting on parts, farming, things like that to try to get registered. So if you go to, there'll be a link up here that will take you to here, and it should have you or have the lineups here. So the lineups for the classes we just drew are already on the website. Once I get that link added, I'll do it right after this live stream. So those will be right up on the website. You'll be able to view those. And we will then be drawing the rest of the classes next week on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. Again, probably around 6 o'clock or so. We'll try to do that. And the one big thing that, we need to do is obviously give you some event information. So the Polar Championship presented by the Lutz Agency for 2024. This is our third year. We have 11 classes lined up. We have the Print Crazy 85 limited pro stock tractors, the Immune Insurance Agency 95 limited pro stock tractors, Liquitude Super Farm tractors, the Chaos Fabrication pro stock tractors, Weimer Fuel Injection and Turbo Diesel super stock tractors, the Schultz Mortgage Team light super stock tractors, the Reeve Trucking four-wheel drive trucks, super stock diesel trucks. We're still looking for a class sponsor. So if anybody is interested or know anybody that may be interested, send them our way. We'd love to talk to them. Modern Machine Tool and Motorsports modified mini tractors, the Tedder Pulling Performance modified tractors, and the Knott's Logistics super semis. Again, May 17th and 18th. So we are just a little over 2 weeks away. 6 p.m. both nights. Gates open at noon both days. There is no rain dates. The location is at the Track of Holes Hours in Nashville, Illinois. The admission is $20 each night for ages 11 and up. Kids 10 and under are free. A live stream is available for $25 a night or $40 for the weekend. No advance ticket sales. Just show up. Plenty of seating. We'll accommodate anybody and everybody. Again, live stream, you can click right here or at the tab at the top. Just some general information. All classes poll both nights. Pits are open with the purchase of an event ticket. Polling will take place on 2 different tracks. There is camping available on site. It is first come, first serve. We don't really know how many spots we have. We never reached that limit yet. But it will be first come, first serve. You have to pay when you come. There's more information on the website under the lodging. There's a secondary tab called camping, as well as clicking right here. There will be event t-shirts. I think they're 20. I don't know if they changed. We did go through Angry Duck Graphics this year, so they will be supplying those, and hopefully we'll have that design shared to you guys so you can see what they look like. The placing format for the overall champion is we combine the placing. So if you get a first and a third, you have 4 points. Then we do goal score. Lowest score wins. If there is a tie, we will then combine the distances for the weekend and break the tie by overall distance. There is a kids zone on site, so that does include there's going to be 6 inflatable bounce houses, the Raminator monster truck. Actually, it's going to be Ramunition. They are going to switch bodies as the Raminator body is a little beat up, so they're going to be on site. They'll be in the kids zone area. Believe we're going to hook them to the sled again. They're also going to do a car crush on Friday night. And then there's going to be a kiddie pedal pull that starts at 3 p.m. on Saturday. There'll be ice cream hopefully available on site. We're still trying to figure out an ice cream vendor, things like that. So plenty of things for the kids to do. Keep them occupied if you come there a little bit early and need to kill some time, or during the event if they get a little bored. I know kids' attention spans aren't the greatest. So again, every single dollar from the gate through the live stream, all of our extra sponsorship dollars, we already have our event costs covered. So anything above and beyond, we're going to give back to the pullers and put it right into the purse. So we have to thank our sponsors. So that's going to be the next thing. Might be a little bit long here. We have a lot of sponsors and partners that came on board for 2024. So just want to get through them here. Our presenting sponsor, Luz Agency, 618 Motorsports does a lot for us. The Adayville Lumber Company, Agramax Week Company, and Egg Venture Waymire Seed. They are the wristband sponsors for this year. AJR International, American Threshermen's Association, AP1 Insurance, Apex Turbo, Auto Traders doing a bunch of stuff for our winners, Bomb Machine, the Beer Money Pulling Team for all their promotion, the Big St. Charles Motorsports, Brian Cruz Toys Tractor will be set up on site as a vendor, Brighton Associates, Cap Brothers Motorsports, some Pico Lubricants, Chaos Fabrication, the class sponsor for the Pro Stock Tractors, CM Pulling Tires. We'll also be giving away vouchers or gift certificates to winners of his choice. So if you're a class or overall weekend champion, you may get a gift certificate from CM Pulling Tires. Coltrane Energy will be set up as a vendor, as well as giving things to the winners. Of course, the data acquisition, the Call of Asgrow Seed, Jonathan Schneider, Dusty Outdoor Media, doing a lot of stuff. They're sponsoring as well as putting us on digital billboards along the interstates of Illinois. Fair Valley Performance, Gateway Seed, Esden Bartling, GMR Motorsports, Greenmount Road, Harley Davidson, Holzauer Auto Motorsports Group, H&R AgriPower, HD Specialties, Holzauer Pro Motorsports, Hooked Up Pulling Productions, Immin Insurance Agency, the sponsors of 95 Limited Pro Stock Tractors, Kawasaki Parts Warehouse, Joe Bush Ag Repair, JP Pulling Productions for all the videos and pictures that we need. He's there for it, so thank you to him. Kessel's Hardware and Rentals, not only are they doing a sponsorship, they are providing us with discounted lists for our live stream cameras, as well as supplies for the event. We're getting a bunch of spray paint and things like that to park lines actually this year for the haulers. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Ference Vague Jr., and Custom Metal Finishing. Letty's Tree Service, they are going to be providing a boom truck and flag for the end of the track like the last 2 years. Kona Ice, they will be on site selling like slushies and things like that. They'll also be providing ice for all the pullers. Ice for the pullers will be $5. You can use it however you want for your vehicles or for your beverages. That is 21-pound bags as well. Lee Sports, Liquid Tube, the sponsor of the Super Farm Tractors, Power Sports Parts Warehouse, Miles Machine and Fabrication, Print Crazy, the sponsor of the 85 Limited Pro Stock Tractors, Modern Machine and Tool, sponsor of the Modified Mini Tractors, Knott's Logistics, sponsor of the Super Semis. Racers Closet will be set up as a vendor this year. They have things for the Polars, fire suits, gloves, helmets, things like that. Schultz Mortgage Team, again, they are the sponsor for the light superstock class, and they also are doing a bunch with promotional material that we're doing postcards for surrounding communities and things like that to get the word out through mail. So thank you to Jason for that. Reeve Trucking, the sponsor of the four-wheel drive truck class, Speed Tech Motorsports, Salem Beam Performance, Scheid Diesel, SRMD Solutions, Torque Group, St. Charles Harley Davidson, Week Sales and Service. They are the trophy sponsor for this year. Tedder Pulling Performance, the sponsor for the modified tractors. Track of Holes Hours and everybody there that helps us with the event. And then Weimer Fuel Injection and Turbo, the class sponsor for the diesel superstock tractors. So we cannot thank our sponsors enough for everything that they do. Again, if you want to become a sponsor, you can click right there. Our packages are here. These numbers aren't totally up to date. Roller sponsors are actually taken already. Class sponsors, we do only have one available. We do have a Friday night or Saturday night bonus available. We do have sled sponsorship available and track sponsorship available. Everything else has been taken. So please reach out to us if you are interested. Again, Superstock Diesel Trucks is the only one still available. And yeah, next week, Wednesday, we're going to do this all over again. We'll be doing, let's see, we'll have diesel superstock tractors, the Weimer Fuel Injection Turbo diesel superstock tractors, the Schultz Mortgage Team light superstock tractors, superstock diesel trucks, the Modern Machine Tool and Motorsports mini rod tractors, and then Tedder Pulling Performance modified tractors and Knott's Logistics super semis. So this is all up to date. So if you'll come on here, you'll see that there's 6 semis. That's currently who's registered. We potentially will have at least 2 more coming on. I know Gene Dunn. He's been there in both the last 2 years. He's still trying to get 2 semis ready for the event. So we're hoping on that. And then we're still trying to get 1 or 2 more. But we're hoping for at least 8. Same with mods. I know a lot of people are reaching out about them. The biggest thing about modified tractors, they're a lot of farmers. So right now we have 5. And there's potential for another 2 or 3, hopefully more. So we'll just keep you guys in touch on that. But otherwise, most of the classes are full. There's just one, I think 1 or 2 in each class that aren't full yet. So Diesel Super is still waiting on 2 more. Modified Minis, Light Supers, and I think that might be it. So if anybody has any questions, any concerns, any feedback, anything like that, please reach out to us. After the event, we will have those surveys available like years past for the Polars and for the fans. So we will be asking for feedback again. We're taking that, we're absorbing it, we're trying to make the event bigger and better. Brad Holzhauer is all for this. He's invested more money in some permanent bleachers on the pit side of the track now. So we're starting from the starting line, and we'll be working our way down the track. As long as people show up and fill the stands, we will continue to make this event grow and add more as we need. So we hope to see you guys there again. If you can't make it in person, May 17th and 19th for 2024 rendition of the Lutz Agency Pro the Polars Championship. Live stream is going to be available, and it's already out there, so you can purchase that. And there's information on that link once you get out there for the What Smoking Crew and Ryan Zolik's awesome live stream that he does. So if you guys have any questions, please just do reach out. And again, next week, around same time as we started tonight, we'll finish out all the other lineups, get those posted. I think that's it. So we'll see you guys next week. And again, reach out if you have any questions. Take care.